Hello everyone. Phoenix61 here. Happy Monday. I know I'm a little late with my video today. My apologies. Sometimes there's real life things going on, but anyway, so we've got another sort of mid-season, mid-campaign update here for the holiday season, and we are looking at, I guess, this week's prize ships that I've already forgotten what it's called, but we'll take a peek at it. This, like, Tsurugi or something, right? Like, I'm sure I'm not gonna say the name correctly, right? But anyway, it looks like a good ship. It kind of reminds you, got a little bit of, like, Georgia vibes to it, right? With some nice big long-barreled guns. 6 cannons on this thing. Business in the front, party in the back. Right? Like, you've got... but yeah, Tsurugi, excuse me. Deep water torpedoes, though, you do get deep water torpedoes with it, right? This is a little bit unique, and I tend to gravitate towards unique ships, and you get 2 torpedo reload boosters, right? So the deep water torps can't hit destroyers, right? But you can hit everything else, and they're significantly harder to spot. And you also get a heal with this, right? 3 heals. We'll kind of blaze through the stats here, right? And we'll take a look at the main guns a little bit deeper, right? I definitely think this is a good ship, right? If you like things like, I don't really know if I should compare it to Georgia, right? But that's what it kind of is giving me those vibes. If you have Georgia, you'd probably like this ship. We're going to talk about price on this thing in a minute here, which is a little out of control. But yeah, like, good AP shell damage. You just got to remember you only got 6 barrels. Secondaries, I don't know why it's got a rating of 80. It's got it does kind of have a lot of guns, but they're 5 kilometer range, right? So I wouldn't build into secondaries, really. Yeah. But, like, they all look good, right? And then you've got the torp launchers. So 12 kilometer range deep water torpedoes. Right, and the deep water torps are hard to spot, but you can't hit destroyers with them. Decent AA, I guess. Maneuverability and concealment's kind of what you'd expect, right? Tier 7 Japanese battleship. It's kind of where we're at here, right? Japanese hybrid battleship. So there's a bunch more stuff in the store, including the early access hybrid battleship crates. So we'll take a peek at all that stuff, and we'll go through containers again, right? Like, what your chances are for things to drop, but we're just taking a peek at the armor on the Tsurugi. Right, you've got a nice big, right, above the water citadel here, but I think the armor is probably thick enough that, like, you could probably get away with quite a bit as long as you're angled correctly, right? As long as you're not flat broadside to the other heavy-hitting battleships, I think you could probably get away with quite a bit here. But yeah, it's got sure shot big guns and the deep water torps, right? So if you're interested in reading through any of these pages that I scroll through, to hit the pause button on it. But yeah, I think it's a good ship. I think I would like it. It kind of is one of my sort of play styles, right? The problem here is that we're going to talk about is it's in a chained bundle kind of thing here, right? So go in and grab your free crate for the day. I always funny. I always make you guys watch me buy my free container for the day. Yeah, so early access hybrid battleship crates are in here. There's you can get the first thing of the chain bundle for free, but it's just 12 camos, so you might as well grab it, I guess. And then you're getting hybrid battleship crates containers in these, right? So we'll go through those. And then there are 2 other ships along the way here. Ashitaka, I think both of these ships are Ashitaka, I'm pretty sure was already existing in the game, right? Tier 6 Japanese battleship. It's nothing, it's good, it's fine, right? I probably wouldn't play it very much if I had it. I do have the next one already, right? So I'm thinking both of these ships are already, like, pre-existing ships. So we're just taking a really, really quick peek at the stats and overview and all that other fun stuff here, right? And then you do get a couple of the, like, Mystic Lanterns along the way. But yeah, so the next one, as you're purchasing right, you have to buy the previous one before you can buy the next one. So that's why they call it chained bundles, right? I do have the key And it also has torpedoes. These are regular torpedoes, not deep water ones, right? So you can hit destroyers with these in their 8-kilometer range, right? So they come in handy occasionally, right? If you're getting in close. And then actually, like, just for fun, I built into the secondary battery, right? So like this is all manipulated by my commander and loadout that I have on this ship because I actually have it, right? But base firing range for secondaries was 7 kilometers. We got up to 11 with the build, right? Just for fun. I don't really know if that's the way to go with it. I'll take a peek at my stats here, right? We have a 57% win rate. Like I said, I don't really... I've only played 28 games with it. It's not one of my favorite ships, right? So I don't... Yeah. I think you're along the way here, you're probably... If you're going for the Tsurugi, right, you're probably not going to care much about these ships, which is kind of frustrating, right? But they're there. You'll get them. If you already have them, I think you get some credits for it, right, instead. And then you've got to buy 10 Mystic Lanterns, right? Like, that's a decent deal on... I mean, it's still a lot of real money, but it's a decent deal on 10 Mystic Lanterns, but then you're... Right. So once you get all the way to the end, this is 77... I added it up, right? 77,350 doubloons. And if you go and look at doubloons, right? So the biggest bundle, we talk about this all the time, right? 47,000 doubloons here for 150 bucks. So you'd probably just buy this twice. So, right, and then you'd have a few doubloons left over, right? But man, so yeah, somewhere between, right, $250 ish to get the ship for one tier 7 ship, right? I know when I phrase it like that, people always like call me out, like, the ship doesn't cost that much because you get all this other stuff. I'm like, no, you still had to spend that much money to get the ship. The ship costs that much. So, yeah, I was like, just kind of like taking a peek, right? Like, you can buy, right, all the deals are the, deals, right? You can still buy all the Mystic Lanterns, and then this is, of course, the section of the store that you can spend your Mary tokens on, which is mostly cosmetic stuff and commander geises, right? So we talked about all of that on the sort of the, like, my update video for this campaign, right? These random bundles, I think this one was just added here, and it's, so this is just ships that already existed in the game as well, but it'd be 35,000 doubloons to unlock all of these, right? So I don't know, like, even if I had the money, I don't know if I would go for that. And then this one was added last week. There's these 2 new Commonwealth ships. Again, like, they're good ships. There's a commander in there as well, right? So a tier 6 battleship that is kind of like a King George with smoke, basically. We talked about it last week. So if you're interested in a little deeper dive into those ships, check out last Monday's video. But yeah. So, and then they also added another chained bundle for containers. This is a little crazy to me, right? Like, it is, if you want containers, it is a better deal to buy them through this chained bundle. The problem is that some of the Mystic Lanterns are the ones you want because they have the better chance to drop the Mystic chests. But I don't know. I was kind of disappointed in the containers this year. I feel like the chances for already existing ships to drop from these things is just, it's so much lower, I feel like, than it was in, like, past holiday seasons, right? But yeah, you can go in and get, I was just trying to look and compare, like, right, like, that is a good, right, that's a better deal to get 10, because, like, in the store, it's always, like, it's, like, 5% off for the 15 bundle of them, or, right, whatever, but then you've got to buy these, the way they're getting you here is then you've also got to buy these Mystic Box, these 2 sections here, for another, 7,000 doubloons, and those have such a tiny chance to drop the Mystic chest that they're kind of, and really, really tiny chances for the, for, like, ships, right? So, but once you do get up here, then you're actually getting to a point where you can actually purchase Mystic chests outright, which, right, so these are the ones that have, right, and it's a good chance, too, to drop the incomparable, the Aki or the Marteau, right, however you say that, French destroyer, right? So, right, British battleship, the legendary tier, and then the legendary tier Aki is the hybrid Japanese battleship, and then the Marcoux is a French destroyer that's kind of like a lot like Kleber, but maybe even a little better, and then it's at tier 8 instead of legendary tier. But that, to get all the way through that, is 115,000 doubloons. So that's even more expensive than the Japanese battleship chain bundle. So it's just crazy, right? I think maybe if you're one of those folks trying to get the special edition of the ships, right? We'll talk about them here in a minute. The special editions of Incomparable or Aki, maybe you would crate farm that way, but man, that is brutally pricey. They do have sales, right? Like, these are decent deals here, right? 50% off for winter variants of these ships. So that's kind of nice, right? So if you've been eyeing, right, if you're kind of, right, a lot of these are just the same exact ship, right? So if you've already got one, right, like I just bought Nelson, I think, because it was on sale last week, and I have the regular variant of Hyuga, right, and Georgia's in there too, right? I'm not going to buy just the winter variants just to have them. I basically have the ship. These ones over here on the far right, these are not ships. Keep this in mind. That you're not getting Hoshino with these. This is just the camouflage, right? It's the skin. So these are previous sort of, the rare, hard to get ships of years past holiday seasons. And so if you happen to get lucky and get a drop of one of these ships, you could go in, from the containers, you could go in and buy their sort of unique specialty camouflages or skins, whatever you want to call these, right? I do have Pizarski. That was one that I actually spent a little bit of money to get last year. I did not go for the big one, which was the Loria, but I really like the right? I like the skin, so I was happy to get that. So we already had that, right? But yeah, like Loria was the really expensive one to get last year, and I passed on it, right? So, and then the Super 8 crates, you can get a couple of these. These are new containers. I think they've only had up to Super 7s, but it's a guaranteed Tier 8 premium ship. It is, 20,000 doubloons, so you do you. And there's not too many, right? There's some good ships in here, like Lucian. I really like Michelangelo, which I have. I don't have Lucian, right? But, yeah, I'm kind of a moderate spender on this, so I probably won't be picking up any of these ships, or I won't be picking up any of these containers. I have a good chunk of these, right? I've got Republic, I've got Carnot, I've got Marco Polo, I've got Giuseppe Verdi, Hyzant, right? I've got probably most of those ships. But yeah, so if you're looking for a guaranteed Tier 8 premium drop, right, you could get it from that container. I think it's a little bit expensive, but I like hardly ever advocate for outright buying ships. But yeah, so the Mystic boxes, we'll touch on the containers again. Have a 2%, most of what you get is common items that you get from playing the game, but they do have a 2% chance to drop the Mystic chest. And then tiny percent chance, right? 0.8, not even a full percent chance to drop ships. And then as you go up, in higher tiers, 0.1% chance to get a tier 6 ship. So you can't even get anything higher than a tier 6 premium out of that. And it's a 0.1% chance. And then the Mystic Lanterns, right? We talked about the chances of these already, but you get a 15% chance to get the Mystic chest. And that's where you're going to get the sort of capstone ships from, right? Incomparable, Aki, and the Tier 8 French destroyer. And then small chances, right? Starting at 5% chance for a Tier 5. And then it just gets smaller and smaller, right? Chances, right? So I did not I got maybe 3 or 4 ships from the containers that I opened, and we opened quite a few. So, it's not a good ship getting method. It's an expensive ship getting method, right? 1% chance for tier 8s. There, like I said, there's, a lot of these are in the Super 8 container, and then a 0.5% chance for Super Prize ship. These are all, like, some of these are 7s, 8s, and legendaries in here. I know somebody was interested in trying to get Wisconsin, right? And Wisconsin is listed in there, right? But it's a 0.5% chance for that ship to drop. Right. And so, yeah. So if you got Loria or Ohio or whatever from one of those, good for you. And then, so then you have those chances to get the Mystic chest from those previous containers. which do have a good chance, right? Almost 15% chance to get incomparable Marku or Aki, right? So, yeah, and we talked about those ships on like our update video from a couple weeks ago. So if you're interested in a little bit deeper dive on those, check that out. We did get incomparable finally on our live stream from Saturday this past weekend. So we did play a few games in that, so you can check that out if you're interested in that. And then tiny chances, right? 0.5% chance for 100,000 doubloons, that'd be great. I've never seen that happen to me. And then 0.1% chance for the special edition of those 3 sort of capstone ships. And it does have a guaranteed reward system. This is what convinced me to buy a few more of the Mystic Lanterns, because I was close to, I think I had 8 Mystic chests originally from our crate opening on day 1 of the update. And so I bought enough, and sure enough, we got two or three more Mystic chests, so then it gave me the guaranteed reward, and I got lucky and got incomparable, because Marku, right, if you really want Marku, you could get it from, you could save up steel. Steel's really tough to get, right, like, but yeah, you could get it from that. It is available in the Forge section of the store. And then Aki is supposed to come as a Bureau project next year sometime, so I was glad we got incomparable, because that's right now the only way to get it. And then, yeah, we're just taking a peek at the Japanese hybrid battleships. Right, these are just the containers. These are the early access containers, right? So I never suggest buying these, right? Buying more of these, right? You're gonna get a few free from like the calendar event, and I think the campaign. Like, you get a handful of them for free, and if you get one of the ships out of it, great. If not, they'll become normal access. You can grind through them through regular tech tree on the next update, right? So I never advocate for buying additional early access containers, because you're going to be able to play those ships next update anyway. So I'm always willing to wait. But yeah, there's these deals on the old winter variants of already existing ships, so take a peek at those. Leave a comment, which if anybody suggests getting those, let people know in the comments what your favorite ones are there and if they're worth it. Also, just leave a comment for drop a like and leave a comment for the algorithm lords. That always helps me out. And then, yeah, we do have quite a few new members lately, so I try to remember to throw you guys up here. I don't do it every time, but I try to remember to throw members and member names up on the end screen here. So appreciate you guys. These are guys helping support the channel. So if you're interested in that, check out the member section on my YouTube page. Otherwise, subscribing is always free, right? And I try to do Legends videos every day. So if you are following, we will see you guys again tomorrow. Thanks.